where you've moved past the craziness that society tells you and to the craziness that's in your own head.
How do you follow from being that deep? all these college educated people. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, you're a kid. You're brought up as a guy. You're supposed to dress a certain way, but you just don't feel it. And you go, wait a minute, I want to wear that dress. I want to wear those shoes. I want my hair fixed like that. And they, cut your hair real short and said, no, guys can't do that. But then, then thank God the 60s came along. I'm old, okay? And guys to wear their hair a lot longer, and so it didn't bother my parents. They just thought I was going through a fad. But why would they think I was going through a fad when I had my hair set in rollers and things like that? And I played with makeup.
It was the 60s.
Yeah, they just thought I was going through a fad, and they said, "You never showed any signs of wanting to be a woman." Hello. So it is very important to me that I'm at this stage, even though I'm late in life, to finally do what I've been wanting to do. Got over the fear of being who I was and the relatives I was associated with. And I'm freer, I'm happier than I've ever been in my entire life. I still have to go to work dressed as a guy. But most people accept me. A lot of people now are calling me Jamie more so than James. And I like that. I'm hoping to get my name, as soon as I come up with enough money, anybody want to donate money, I'll be free to help, to get my name changed legally. I can't wait for that. And not being born in the state of Tennessee, I can change everything, not only my name, but my gender, which people in the state of Tennessee cannot do, unfortunately. But transgender means that I am crossing over into being a female, being happier than I've ever been in my entire life. And still being who I am, inside, and still having the same feelings, still having the same interest. I'm just, I'm a female now, pretty much.
Well, for me, being trans has been a lot of soul searching. It's kind of one of those things where a lot of people don't think about, but like you kind of sit and look in the mirror every morning and just, it's kind of like, you feel like you're supposed to have, donkey ears or something, I don't know. You look in the mirror and you don't see them, you know what I mean? But everybody else is looking at you and just nothing fits. I've always kind of taken it from more of a medical point of view of just really being born in the wrong body. Something just did hit when puberty hit, and it wasn't, at first, I think a lot of us kind of go through sexuality, and that's usually what ends up happening, but when you actually start delving a little bit deeper into your gender identity, it takes a lot of soul searching and a lot of time to really get to know yourself and get really comfortable with yourself. It's not very easy coming out and defining that and transitioning over. There's a lot of people who do that. They come out, but they don't necessarily need to do a medical transition. And so like the word transgender, I think I take it more in the medical sense of actually just transitioning over into another body and medically changing your body either with hormones or surgeries or other ways of conforming your body into another gender. So that's pretty much what trans means to me.
All right.
We found a mic over here.
Yeah. So another thing that it seems basic to me because I've educated myself, but when I was trying to introduce this gender identity deal, it was a real big question. So I want to get from you guys, what's the difference between sex and gender?
Go ahead, rock it out.
One of the classic definitions, which is why this is easy, is sex is between your legs and gender is between your ears. And actually, medically, that's true as well. Most people, sex is basically what comes out when you're born. You know, whatever you got then is what they'll put down on the stupid sex form. Whether that's who you are is completely irrelevant. And because there's some theories saying that the hormone flush occurs twice, at least twice during pregnancy to determine sexual characteristics. One to set the body, one to set the mind. Well, there's various, if stress, environmental issues, all sorts of things can basically cause that very delicate process to get completely screwed up. And so you can be born with body A and have mind B and spend your whole life with your mind getting the wrong hormone set. And that screws you up bad. And so it's a medical condition, because sex and gender, they seem like they're very different, but they are kind of connected in a fundamental way.
That's pretty much it. I mean, whoa. You have to separate the two, and a lot of people do not, and that's why we have to fight a lot of laws, a lot of Congress people, and all who get this mindset that everything is together, and it's not. My gender and my sex are two different things. I never thought they were always the same. And so, it's kind of hard to explain it except for what she said. It's just, they are two separate. I mean, taking biology, you've taken chemistry, science and all, and it proves it, that all this is different, and not only that, but it proves that God, believe it or not, you tell your ministers all this, God made gays, God made lesbians, God made transgender people. No matter what they are, they did. And He did, and God never makes mistakes. So, that's just the way it is. I was telling this young lady over here that, not to get religious on you, but in David, in the Bible, it says, God knew me when I was in the womb. So if He knows you in the womb, then He knows that you're going to be straight or gay, transgender, or what. He knows. So, yes. He's sorry, I didn't mean to give you that many problems in life. but you're transgender and you're going to have some hell in your life. I go, okay. But I wish I had, I was born in the 50s, and I wish I had known the things to sort of, but the things that I know now about being transgender and all, the words and how to tell, I wish I could have done it back then. But people who did try to tell their parents or friends and all that they were gay back in the 50s, what happened? They got electrical shock treatments. They got put in mental hospitals in rooms and given drugs. And a lot of them never made it out. They ended up either being completely nuts all the rest of their lives, living in a mental hospital, or else they died, or else they committed suicide. And that's just, thank goodness society is changing more and more, and that's good.
Yeah, it's not the electric
Anything else? Alright, another question, really good question. What is the relationship between gender identity and sexual orientation?
I fight this one a lot.
Too smart.
I fight this one a lot, and I can do it in a simple term like you did, elaborate more. Your gender identity is how you're perceived by the world. Your sexual orientation is what goes on in the bedroom. That's pretty much the simple, difference between it. And a lot of people sometimes mix it up a little bit when you're dealing with gender identity. I know a lot of us kind of went through the gay world or the gay phase because, especially if you perceive yourself as, for me, if I perceive myself as a straight male, obviously I'm going to think I'm a lesbian.